super easy peach cobbler. Now, I know some people like it with more of a traditional crust, like the pie crust type thing vibe going, but this is like a self-rising crust. It's going to rise above that batter. I mean, the batter is going to rise above that filling, and it's just like a perfect combination of like crunchy and soft and juicy peaches. And I don't know. It's super easy, it's delicious, and that's what we're going to make today. So, let me go over some ingredients for you. So you have your pen and the paper. This is going to be very helpful for that. You're going to want a half a cup of butter. Not even, because really, I got a half a cup of butter is really one stick. And I'm honestly only going to use half. So yeah, you're really using 1/4 a cup. You don't have to use a whole half. Half a cup of butter. I'm sorry, 1/4 a cup of butter. 1 cup of flour. 1 cup of sugar. You're gonna need about 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Not baking soda, baking powder. Baking powder. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That's basically like a little pinch. You're gonna need 2/3 of milk, and we're gonna do some brown sugar. Now, I already put this together. This is my peaches little mixture. There's brown sugar in here, allspice, nutmeg, cinnamon. Did I put any white sugar in there? I don't think so. I might have did half brown sugar, half white sugar. I'm not 100% certain, but you can do all brown or white. I like to put some brown sugar in there for my personal preference. So that's this, and it's just marinating and getting all. So you could cook this on the stove a little bit too, or you can just let it do its thing when you put it in the oven and start baking all together. So that's that. We got that to the side. Now, what we're basically gonna make is the batter that I need for the cobbler. And before I start that, I am going to heat my oven to 350 degrees of regular professional oven. Okay. So I'm making mine in this dish here. It's really not, too big, and it's not really small. I don't know the measurements on it. Don't get me to lying, but to me, it's the perfect amount. I get a lot of crust. I get a good amount of peaches, and it just comes together beautifully. You can make it bigger, but I would suggest doubling the recipe. Okay, but so if you don't have like this little circle pan, maybe like one of those little square pans like this will work. Why none of these pans have like the measurements on the back? When my cookware come out, it's gonna have the measurements, so you don't have to guess on the back. Like, oh, I'm getting whatever dish for this recipe. But yeah, so something around those sizes. What I just don't want you to make it with is like something like this. This will be too big. I'm going to have to double the recipe. Maybe even triple it. This is too big. Yeah, you have to double for that. Too big. If you're using this, double this recipe. This is like a real quick, easy, personal, family type thing. Not really the barbecue, take it to a barbecue. This ain't gonna last. This feel like your family. This is like dessert for dinner. But if you having a party, of course you're gonna need some more so like this. And like I'm saying, you're gonna have to just double that up. Alright, so let's make this better. Okay, so when my oven gets to temperature, I am going to melt that butter in that. I'm pointing over there, it's right here. In this pan. So I already got it in there chilling. I'm gonna melt that, and then I'm gonna pour this batter directly on that melted butter. Then I'm going to pour these peaches all over all of that. And I'm not going to mix anything. I'm not going to mix nothing. I'm just going to layer, put it in the oven, let it do its magic, and then voila, it's going to be delicious. So let's make this batter real quick. It's very, very simple. I'm going to use my little cute, handy dandy little spatula, spoon thingy. I don't know. It's so cute though, isn't it? Alright, so first, we're going to take my flour. I have a cup of flour. Add that to the bowl. You know what I'm forgetting? My baking powder. And I need 2 teaspoons of it. I'm using this brand. And it's always important when you're baking and making stuff, you have to keep your baking powder and your baking soda should stay fresh. It's like very, very important. And this is really only needed because I'm not using self-rising flour. If I was using self-rising flour, I could omit adding the baking powder and stuff in here, but that helps it rise. So that's why I'm using that. I'm gonna use 2 teaspoons of that. I'm going to do a pinch of salt. Don't pour that much in your hand, waste it. But a little pinchy pinch. I'm going to use a cup of sugar. And then I also have, what I say, 2/3, yeah, which is what pound, 2/3 of milk, 2/3 a cup of milk, and this is at room temperature. When baking, it's really important to try to keep your stuff at room temperature stamps. Oh, I cannot forget about my flavoring. Now, one of my flavorings, I'm using 2 different vanillas in here. I'm using Watkins, and then I have this other vanilla I get from the baking supply store. It's like a French vanilla. It's going to add a slight tint on to my batter because it's like oranges. Like, you see that color? It's like, I don't know, but I like it. I'm using that, and then I'm using some regular Watkins. I'm not really measuring these out. I'm just going by the capful. I did 2 caps of Watkins and like half a cap of the French vanilla. Okay, so I got all of that. And then I did this side, I did that. Okay, so I pretty much got everything that's going in my batter. That's everything that's going in this. I'm gonna take my little spatula and I'm gonna just start swirling it all together. And make sure you get in all the sides. You want to make sure everything is incorporated well. It's going to kind of, when you're done, look like, I want to say almost like some pancake batter. And so when I think pancake batter, I'm thinking like, of course, with any batter, you want to get all those lumps off and stuff out. So like I said, scrape, scrape, scrape. My auntie always used to make her peach cobbler with her. She'd make her crust literally like roll up the crust, cut it out into strips, and like, you know, all nicely put it together. But the only thing I didn't used to like about her peach cobbler is that it just used to be a little bit too soupy for me. I hate soupy peach cobblers. It's just like, But people still to this day like really love her peach cobbler. So, you know, I've had some really great teachers get me to where I'm at, but I make mine a little bit totally different. And it's just, I don't make it even as much. Like, peach cobbler is not my favorite per se dessert. I'm more of a cake girl or pie. But even with that, like, with all of this stuff, I just want it sometimes and just a little bit. And then maybe 2 months later, I want some again. or it's gonna get mixed up into something different. But as much as I like making sweets and I make them, I'm not crazy for them. I really can like manage and control my cravings when it comes to that. Because like I said, they very just vary. So that's our batter. Now I'm about to put the butter that's in this pan in my oven so it can get melted. I still got a few lumps in here, so I'm gonna stir that some more until that's all gone. It smells good though. Oh, that's what I'm gonna add too. I forgot almost. I'm gonna add a little bit of cinnamon in my batter, just to add a little razzle dazzle to it. Okay, that sounds so good. So don't forget, again, the ingredients list for your batter. You're gonna need 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of sugar, 2/3 of milk, a pinch of salt, and 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Remember, baking soda, not baking powder. I'm sorry, I mix it up. You need baking powder, not baking soda. I'm so sorry. 2 teaspoons of baking powder, not baking soda. This is baking powder. Y'all know baking soda comes in the little box. Not this, but this. Not this, but this, okay? Very, very important. Big difference. The stuff will not rise with the soda. You need the powder. Very imperative. Alright. So let me check on my butter. That's melting here in the oven. We're almost done with that. And then, like I said, remember, you're going to want kind of a small type of pan to make this in. This recipe is not for party-sized gatherings. It's like family dessert, personal dessert, not the barbecue. You want something this size, you're going to have to double this recipe. So you're going to need 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 pinches of salt, extra milk. Maybe now, at that point, you would need the whole stick of butter. Because like I said, I'm not using the whole stick. I cut that in half. We're only using 1/4. And then my peaches, with the peaches, you can keep them whole, kind of diced and sliced. But I like to dice them up just a little bit more, so you can get good bites in like every spoonful. To me, it seems like when they're bigger, it's more messy and it's not, I don't know. I just dice them up a little bit more. And like I said, it's just marinating, doing its thing, waiting for it to get all combined. Alright, I'm going to get my butter out. So y'all can still see this. I'm going to bring my cutting board over here so I'm not damaging my counter. Actually, I'm not about to use these. I have an idea for that I don't want to talk about yet. It's a secret, so I'm going to just use the regular dagger. Okay. Alrighty. Now, I should be waiting a little bit longer, but because if you can see, it's like still a little log of butter. And I'm just swirl it around a little bit and it's going to melt somewhere. So, alright, that's hot. Don't forget, my oven is at 350. So I'm taking this batter, I'm going to give it a quick stir, just since it's been sitting there for a second to get everything kind of back moving and grooving. So you see that hot butter down here? I'm just going to pour this directly all over that batter in a swirl. of that directly on there. I'm not going to stir this. It's just pouring the batter directly on top of the melted butter. Okay, I didn't even have to grease this pan because I melted the butter in it. The butter is greasing it for me. So that's that. Now with my peaches, I don't want to get too much juice because I don't want it to get too soupy. I was just telling y'all I don't like it soupy, but I do like that the flavor you get from that mixture. Like you see that darkness from the spices and the brown sugar and the peach juice. Like you need that. So with every spoonful, I make sure I still got some in there. So this is not a slotted spoon, so it's all draining out the juices. I want some of them, but not all of them. So I'm just making sure I get a good spoonful of the peaches and I'm just spreading it all around. Making sure there's no spot left untouched by any peaches. Because it's a peach cobbler, you need plenty of peaches. Now when you serve this, you do it with some caramel drizzle. I'm going to show you the caramel I like to use. And then you can have it with some ice cream. I never really used to eat it with ice cream until I started selling it and people start asking me for ice cream with it. And I tried it and I'm like, okay, this is kind of fire. So I'm trying to get some more juice in here. Okay. And make sure you get it from the edge to the center of peaches. Like, it matters. You want peaches in every bite. Okay. Now I'm just going to take a little spoonful of the rest of that juice. And I'm just going to go kind of around the perimeter. With some of that butter is like spreading out to the edge and has settled. I really want a little bit of that darkness from this juice all on top. That way I know it's kind of like flavored. If that makes sense. Okay, I think that's enough. And remember, no stirring. We're not going to stir this. No stirring. So let's take this. Actually, let me clean up this little piece. Right here at the edge. Whenever you baking something and like you putting it inside of the whatever you're using to bake it in, if you get stuff on the side, wipe that off before you put it back in the oven, or it's just going to get cooked onto your bakeware and it makes it harder to clean later. I'm all about working smarter, not harder. So, going in the oven, and this is going to go in there for about 20 to 30 minutes. What you're really looking for is to see that the crust has rolls to the top and it's like a golden color to it. You don't want it dark, it's just golden. Now this is the type of caramel I use, so delicious with a nice little drizzle. And then the ice cream I'm going to use, when I sell it, you get ice cream cups like this. Like I will have some for sale if you're in the Metro Detroit area. They're going to be for sale for $7, $5 with delivery. I mean, $5 delivery, $12 altogether. But you would get the cobbler, ice cream, all of that. But I'm going to keep mine with, because I don't have any more of my Dolce de Leche, but this. This is so good. Or you can use any type of ice cream you want, for real. So yeah, that's gonna bake for 35 to 20 minutes. really probably about 35. You want to see it get nice and bubbly and delicious. And like I said, you're just looking for that golden brown color on your crust. Let's take a look at it in the oven. Actually, that's not necessary. I'm not going to do that. I am just going to upload the, the finished product later on my page. So make sure you tune in to Cooking with Kim on Instagram, Facebook, here on YouTube, TikTok. So you can stay tuned to see all of my tutorials and catch me live here on YouTube. I'm gonna try to start doing this like at least once a week. People been asking me to do it, so I'm trying to get more consistent with that and mix up my content. So tell me how y'all like this live. Tell me if you wrote down the recipe, how it worked for you. I am going to put a copy of it in writing on my website at www.cookingwithkimberlyn.com. Again, you can see the finished product on my page at Cooking with Kimberly Ann on Facebook, Instagram, and here on YouTube. I think I have a finished, like from start to finish tutorial as well, like a short. So you can look and check that out as well. But thanks for tuning in to my live, guys. That wraps everything up. Next time I'm going to try to have like one already done or something, or like a completed one. All the ones I did have done are sold and gone. I'm really making extra. And I said, hey, let's just make some content. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned again, like I said, for the finished product. And check my website out for the ridding recipe. Thanks again.